that I am among my people. Now, without further ado, let's put our hands together and bring to the stage Elijah Wood.
Hello. Just got my cup of coffee here. Hi, how's Portland? This is genuinely one of my favorite cities in the world. I love Portland so much. It's so great. Amazing food. Some of the best pizza in the world. Yes. Underrated. I know. Yeah, you know. I just love it here. It's great. So, hi, thanks for having us.
and given how many people are in the audience, it's safe to say Portland loves you as well.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to take things all the way back to the beginning of your journey with Lord of the Rings. I'm really curious to know what the audition process was like. Did you know what you were auditioning for, or did you go in completely blind?
No, I knew. I mean, so I found out about the casting of, or certainly the making of Lord of the Rings, probably like everybody else, about 2 years prior to the filming process beginning. It was announced that Peter Jackson was embarking on making The Lord of the Rings as films. And I remember at the time just hearing that. I was on a set of a movie called The Faculty. I was in Austin, Texas, and someone told me that news, and I just thought, oh, that's incredible. I was a fan of Peter's work. I'd seen The Frighteners and Heavenly Creatures, which I love. If no one's seen Heavenly Creatures, I beseech you to seek it out. It's really special. And I remember thinking, oh, what a brilliant choice for The Lord of the Rings. And I hadn't read the books, but I knew the world, and I'd read The Hobbit and loved it. And if you've seen Heavenly Creatures, that's such an incredible mix of really beautiful human drama of what these characters are going through, and the fantasy world of their own creation. So it's this really wonderful mix of elements that's so uniquely suited to Peter. And so I was thrilled, not even thinking much at the time about the casting of it. And I think a friend of mine was like, you should be Frodo. I'm like, well, it'd be amazing, but we'll see. So then cut to, I think it was like either late 1998 or early 1999, must have been late 1998, when they started casting it. And my agent called and said, they're casting for Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson is directing. I was aware of that. And the option that I had before me, being based in LA, was to go into a local casting office. Victoria Burrows was the US casting director, and she was based in LA, to just go and audition. Sort of what that would entail would be to go into an office, be in, a sort of boring white room, reading scenes from Lord of the Rings and being filmed. That tape would then be sent to Peter. And I just thought, I don't know if that's gonna be the most conducive environment for me to express how passionate I am about this, and also to just simply stand out. I knew that everyone and their brother and sister and mother were auditioning for Lord of the Rings, and I'd never done this before, but it occurred to me I could just make my own tape. I'd never done that before, and I told my agent that that was my intention, and she was like, okay, you've got to do it though. And I was like, okay, I know. So I took it very seriously, and I went, I got a dialect coach to work on the dialect. I got a couple of books, some sort of art books on characters from Lord of the Rings that sort of had renderings of what hobbits might look like. Went to Western Costume and got a costume, like with, the sort of knee-high pants or just below the knee. I think I got a waistcoat and a shirt, like very hobbity. Quite appropriate. And then a friend of mine who's a writer and filmmaker himself, this guy George Wang, who made a great film called Swimming with Sharks. If no one's seen Swimming with Sharks, I highly recommend it. It's brilliant. He and another friend and I shot the scenes. There were 3 scenes. The audition scenes were basically 3 scenes to articulate Frodo's journey from the beginning until the end, to kind of showcase where he is at varying stages of that degradation as the ring takes more of a hold on him. So the first scene was in Bag End. It was not a scene that we ended up shooting, but it was sort of an amalgam of scenes from Bag End, of Frodo interacting with Gandalf, not Gollum. And then there was something sort of mid-journey, and then a scene sort of towards the end on Mount Doom, I think. And we shot one scene at my house, which would have been Bag End. And then we went out to Griffith Park and shot 2 scenes outside in the woods. And we shot them kind of from various angles. So it wasn't just like a locked off shot. We kind of shot it like a scene. And then my friend helped, well, he edited the scenes that night at the Miramax offices in LA that he had access to, which is super cool. Got the tape the next day, and then I hand-delivered that tape to Victoria Burrows' casting office. That was then sent to Peter, who I believe was in London at the time. And that was it. It was kind of like a be with God moment of like, I did my best, you know? And we'll see if it worked. I had no idea. And then not long after that, I heard that Peter was coming through Los Angeles with Fran, and that they'd like to see me again, that they enjoyed the tape, and I had a chance to have a callback, another audition for them in person. And my favorite moment of the whole audition journey happened right before I met Peter and Fran, actually. As I was anxious. I get really nervous for auditions. I still do. I've never gotten over that, ever. I know so many actors who are like, it's no big deal. I can't separate, it's always a big deal. So I was nervous, and I sat kind of in this waiting room, and I spoke to one of the casting director's assistants, and I think I bent his ear a bit about the tape, like, did you see the audition tape that I've made? And he's like, yeah. I was like, did it come across like, because I just sent this thing out into the universe and hoped. And he was like, oh yeah, man, you could tell how passionate you were. And that was it. Like, it made me kind of tear up, because I thought, at least I did, like, at that moment, I had done the thing that I'd intended to do, and everything else was sort of icing on the cake. Obviously, getting the role was the intention. And of course, I wanted the role. But that felt so good, you know, that thing of any endeavor that you put yourself out there for, just having it reflected back on you that you've kind of done the thing that you'd intended is a really good feeling. So that was lovely. And then I met Peter and Fran, and I got to tell them both how much I love Heavenly Creatures, because I knew that Fran was a real driving force behind the film, and I think kind of the head writer of the movie. So that was also such a treat for me, because I love that film so much. And that's it. And then, you know, a number of months later, or maybe a month or 2 later, I got a phone call.
Well, now I want to know, have you gone to that same length for other auditions, or was it just